I want to repeat something that I said during my last live cast, but I want to try to say it again in a more satisfying way. Um, let's see if I succeed or if I fail. What I what I wound up talking about in that live cast was how it's, even though it seems corny and stupid and cliched, that having a perspective of grounded in gratitude rather than in resentment is is uh, is for the best. And I'm somebody who says that, who I'm kicking and screaming at having to say that. You have to understand that about me. That's the last thing. It's the last thing that someone with my kind of temperament wants to say, wants to admit. This is being dragged out of me. This is somebody is torturing this out of me. I'm torturing it out of myself. I'm waterboarding myself. I'm tying myself up and whipping myself into saying these things. So hopefully when you hear it from me, hopefully it might therefore have more merit for you if you know these things about me. It's not because I'm important, but just the fact that I would be saying something like this, testifies to the truth of it. Because this is 180 degrees against what I would want to say, and the kind of uh, I don't know, the kind of inclinations that I would have. Um, I've I'm someone who struggles. I've struggled for a while, and I don't think it's getting any easier. And I'm not saying that like to try to get pity from anyone. Um, and I'm not saying that to in a poor me kind of way. Um, but I I honestly don't know if I'm gonna make it, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. What does it mean to make it, quote unquote? I don't know, but I'm being honest. I'm just being absolutely honest. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, whatever that means. But I know that if I do make it, it's going to be because of the grace of God. And I know that the proper attitude to have towards grace is is receptiveness. Uh, it's humility and receptiveness, and that's like so completely against who I am. I mean, that's something you have to understand about me. Maybe you already know it. I don't know. If you watched enough of my videos, you probably know this about me, or heaven forbid, even read my stuff, which I'm always well, I'm not always begging, but I'm it feels like I'm begging a lot to say, if you like watching my videos, which some of you do anyway, um, for some reason, then you'll really like reading what I have to write, because I'm a much better writer than I am a yacker. But anyway, uh, I don't think I'm someone who could be accused of just being, uh, I don't know, the kind of person that you hate, the kind of person who just always goes around and says, "Hey, look at the bright side," and who's just glib and glibly optimistic and I don't know, blue pilled, like a lot of you would say. It's just not me. I've never been like that. Um, but but I do think that it's very important, if you even hope to make it, and if we have any chance of making it, quote unquote, as a society, as a culture, if we have any hope of uh, you know stopping our slide into the abyss that we're all so horrified by, that I'm so horrified by, that so many of you are horrified by, or maybe you've just become numb to it, or say you're numb to it. I don't know. I don't know how you can really be numb to it. But I mean, maybe you're just a badass and you can do that. But I'm not. I can't be aloof from it. You know, it it uh, it takes something out of me. So I'm saying, this is maybe a way of saying we're in this together, which of course is just another one of those corny slogans that's been co-opted and used by all the wrong people. So when you hear it, you're rightly suspicious of it. But it's true. It's actually true. All the corny stuff that you hear, it's actually true. It's just been abused by sometimes by the worst kinds of people, by the kinds of people who want to blame, who want to say, you think, what, all the terrible things that we're doing are the problem, but you are the real problem because you're, with your stubbornness and your inability to go along with all the terrible things that we're doing. You are the real problem. That they're the ones who are abusing this whole we're in this together crap. We have seen that over and over again. They appeal to your sense of duty in order to abuse you and abuse others, and that's that's a problem on that's a problem on so many levels. Uh, but one of the more devastating ways that causes problems is that it leads you into thinking that we're not in this together. When we really are, we have to like self-care is is others care. It really is, and I'm laughing just because this just sounds so corny. And I know how it sounds, and I'm resistant to it, but it really is true. If we're gonna uh, stand up for all the right things, which we should do, regardless, we have an obligation to do that. I firmly believe that, but you sure as hell don't feel like doing it when when you just feel hatred and hostility uh, from the culture that surrounds you. Um, you sure as hell don't feel like. I mean, you don't even feel like trying. You feel like just saying, okay, fine. You don't want me around. You hate my guts. You think that I'm a cancer on the face of uh, of the earth, and that all of my history and all of my culture and all of my tradition is you spread these lies about my heritage and my traditions and so forth. And Again, this is what we're hearing from bad people. The worst kind of people uh, are the ones who are promoting these notions, these ideas. We have to somehow just put them aside. We have to put these people who these these people who have chosen to promote uh, these very destructive notions. We have to put them aside and say to ourselves, regardless uh, of how shitty the world has become, we still have an obligation to take care of ourselves, and we have an obligation to take care uh, of others that not just people that we love, people that who are our brothers and sisters who are similarly struggling and trying to fight the good fight. We have to be there for each other, um, and we have to try to be our best selves for each other. And I don't know if I don't know if personally, if I'm going to be able to make it, again, quote unquote. Um, I don't know what form that would take. That's not, this shouldn't be read as a cry as a cry for help, or a threat that I'm going to do anything to myself or anything like that. It's not that. It's just my honest feeling. Um, but I know, because I know myself, and I know the ways that I struggle, and I know that it sure hasn't gotten any easier. Um, I'm uh, it only seems to get harder every month, every week, every day. Uh, but I do know that regardless of what happens to me, regardless of my fate, um, you know, do as I say, not necessarily as I do. Although, I'm going to try to do as I say, and I am doing. I am in my best moments. I am doing as I say here. Uh, all the rest of the time, of course, I'm not. But even then, I know it's right. Um, Self-care is is rejecting nihilism. It's rejecting the so-called black pill, um, whatever that means to you. Like, uh, the times that I've heard black pill used, I know some people think that I am misinformed about what the black pill really is. But here's, if you think that, you can think that, and you can just substitute some other word in for black pill if you wish. I'm not going to quibble about semantics, but what I mean when I say black pill is just this this determination to be um, to be miserable, and to think I'm only going to be miserable and it's never going to change. Not necessarily about getting a girlfriend or whatever. That stuff is like, you know for some of us anyway, small potatoes. I know for those of you who've never had a girlfriend, it may be like, oh well, it's easy for you to say that. I mean, I can see why you would say that, maybe, but I'm not meaning it that way. If that's what it means to you, then you can make it mean that. Like, if you want to say, if rejecting the black pill means being open to the idea that maybe someone will love you, then you can take it that way. And I mean, what I'm talking about, though, is something more broad, speaking more broadly, and it's just this this conviction that everything is shitty and it's only going to get shittier, and and there is no redemption. There's no you know, and this kind of these kinds of notions were once. There was a time not long ago. I firmly believe this. There was a time not long ago where these kinds of notions weren't necessarily all that harmful, because things hadn't truly gone to shit the way that they have now. Speaking of things going to shit, sorry about that music. Turn it off, please. Turn it off. I'm trying to have an epiphany here. Can't you see that? Turn off that damn music. Anyway, um, uh, um, so it becomes so much more dangerous when when we're so close to sliding fully into the abyss, and where I don't know, is where it's just you're scratching and clawing to keep from falling, or maybe you aren't. Maybe you just have decided I'm just going to fall into it, and that's just because I'm just I don't know, I'm just a badass, or I don't give a fuck or whatever. Um, and that's your way of coping with the way things are. I don't think that's going to work either. Um, I get it. I get it. I get saying, well, I'm just not going to care anymore. Uh, I get that. And I think there's something good to just not, to like, if you're going to say to yourself, I'm not even going to watch the news anymore. I think that's good, actually. No more doom scrolling for me. That's good. If that's what you mean by, uh, I don't care. I don't give a shit anymore. Then that's a good thing. But if what you mean is I'm going to be I'm going to be nihilistic. Um, I'm going to be. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight for my well-being, for my mental and physical and spiritual well-being. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to give up on that. Uh, then because it doesn't matter, because I'm just a I'm just uh, I'm just a sub 5 anyway. So again, if you want to take it in that direction, so nothing I do will really help. I'm just saying. What am I saying? I'm saying that you've got to cultivate, find habits of mind to cultivate uh, a perspective where you are grateful. You're grateful for your life and the good things in it. Even if you feel like you can count those good things, on the fingers of one hand, then be grateful for those things that you can count on one hand. Start from there, and um, it's a discipline. It must be a discipline. It must be a habit of thought. It's not one that I've succeeded so far at doing for myself all that well. Just like I don't pray all that well. I never have. It's never come easy for me. Um, but regardless, you don't have to be a champion at it. It's not about becoming a champion or an expert or outdoing everybody else. Becoming number one at being grateful, be, being the being a winner. The Chad, uh, the Chad man of gratitude versus the Virgin man of resentment. It's not about that. My God. Um, I'm certainly the Virgin, not literally, metaphorically in all of those scenarios. Um, so, uh, uh, so that's I think what I'm meaning by all of this, and I don't know why it's all hitting me so hard right now. I'm not sure. But it's not really, as far as the message goes, it's not really important. The message still remains valid, regardless of what you can or can't say about me as the messenger. Um, I think the message is a good one. I think the message is, if you like, from God. Whether you balk at that idea or not, if you're religious or not, just take that for however you want to take it. This is a message from God to you, to you, whoever you are. This is a message to have gratitude, to be uh, And again, not in a lecturing kind of way, not in a, I'm not saying this as a, you like, I'm looking down on you for being so, for being so ungrateful, because I know I am ungrateful. I'm ungrateful myself. Um, uh, so again, this is, like I said before, everything I'm saying here is me fighting mightily against my natural inclinations, or I guess it's maybe what I've just habituated myself to, um, from years of experience or whatever. But it's a very it's extremely self-defeating. Nihilism, the black pill, misery. It's self-defeating. Again, like I say on the video, even if you're thinking like those bastards who are trying to destroy the world, uh, I agree with you. You're not fighting those bastards by making yourself miserable. You think that they care? They're happy that you're miserable. That should be enough motivation for you to not be miserable, for you to fight to be happy. Because fuck them. They want to make you miserable. They want you, uh well, like Sam Hyde said that time, they want your children raped, and they want you miserable, and they think it's funny. Uh I, I'm I'm paraphrasing what he said. But like that's a should be enough reason to go the opposite route. You're doing the enemy's job for them by being miserable, because they want you to be miserable, and they want the people around you to be miserable too. So that's the other thing. When you are uh, when you have given yourself over to despair, when you are uh, black pilled in the sense that I've talked about it, and you go out uh, and say these kinds of things to others who are vulnerable to that mindset, that perspective as well, then you are not just hurting yourself, you're hurting others. You're contributing to their despair. And there's, uh, you know, it makes me think of the scripture passage where Jesus talks about whoever causes one of the little ones to sin, it'll be better for him than, than if, it would be better for him to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied to him. Um, and that it's just that's he's speaking there about corrupting the innocent. Um, but that's sort of that's what it is. That's what when this kind of perspective spreads from person to person, um, virally, if you will. Uh, even though germ theory is probably bullshit. But anyway, um, the mind virus of despair. You spread that to others, and you have done them a horrible disservice. Yeah, because without even thinking about it, that's the thing. You're not thinking. You don't. You just think to yourself, well, I'm just being honest about how I really feel. Um, but when you give yourself over to this kind of mindset, and broadcast it, and say this is reality, and this is what this is what it means to face reality. Uh, and here again, I'm talking to myself. I'm I'm my own worst critic, and I should be, because this is me. This is what I fear I have done. Uh, not that I have any illusions about being a huge influence on a bunch of people, but the people that the people over whom I have had influence, I hope that uh, I know that in the past it's maybe not been for the best, and I hope that from now on it is for the best. That when you think of me, you think of fighting the good fight, and fighting to be happy, even though that very notion is just maybe it's just a pipe dream, but maybe I should phrase it more that you're fighting against being miserable, fighting against being suicidal, uh, fighting against giving yourself over to the worst kind of despair. Um, and if you can take care of yourself and help then that helps others, because they see you, and they draw strength from you. We draw strength from each other. In the no man is an island. It's true. I don't want to admit it, because I'm a very passionately introverted person. I'm a very like leave me alone kind of guy. I don't like I'm not an easy I don't just go up to people and start talking to them. That's the very opposite of me. I just sort of want to be left alone most all the time. But no man is an island. Um, and I think this whole thing has gone on for a little too long. So again appreciate everyone who stayed through it all. But I'll end on that note. Um, this isn't about me. Just to reiterate, this isn't about me. Though if you feel inclined to pray for me, then I would appreciate that. But I'm not passionately begging for that. That's not what this message that's not what this video is about. That's not my point here. Um, I'm saying what I'm saying because I think, regardless of me, take me, put me in the picture or take me out of the picture, everything I'm saying is true for you, whoever you are. You've got to fight against. You got to fight against this seductive, uh, the seductive power that nihilism has, that despair has, because it's everywhere today, and it's poisoning everything today in a way that, I mean, I've lived longer than probably most people who are watching this. Maybe not more than all of you, but you know, it's never been this bad. It has never been this bad before, and we've got to turn the tide. It's not. It's like it's failure is not an option. You know, to use another one of those corny cliches, failure is not an option. Failure just means that's it. We're doomed. We're damned. We're uh, we slide into the abyss, and we're all in the place where there's great wailing and gnashing of teeth forever. We can't let that happen. So don't let that happen. Do your part. I'm gonna do my part to the best of my ability, even though it's not easy for me, especially. I think especially for someone with my mindset, with my natural inclinations, it's not easy. But I'm trying. I'm trying. The Lord knows I'm trying. And you should put up the good fight yourself. Fight for yourself. Fight for others. Fight for others who need who need it, because we all need it. All of us who are sincerely fighting against this slide into the abyss, this terrifying slide into the abyss that we're all enduring right now. We all need it. So do your part, and we can turn this around. Thanks for watching.